for Spark. I'm here with our county warden today, John Bezaire, and we just have a few questions for him. So to start off, can you just briefly describe what it is that the warden does?
Well, the warden, by legislation, is the chief executive officer of the county. We chair meetings, we give public addresses. We thankfully are allowed to be involved in implementing and instigating policy changes that affect how we deliver the services to the people.
So I hear you're one of the youngest wardens Huron County has ever had. Can you just explain why you decided to get involved in politics so early on?
Just something I always wanted to do right from the time I was a little kid. I grew up on a farm with very little in the way of entertainment, so we watched the news a lot. And there's people like Pierre Trudeau and Ed Broadbent, Joe Clark, guys like that. And I didn't necessarily understand what they were talking about, but I just knew I wanted to be like them.
So just for those who don't know, can you just describe the process that happens in order to become warden?
Sure. It's changed a lot over the years. The county has had around 100 different wardens. Used to be, it was done along party lines, Liberal and Conservative. They scrapped that in, I do believe, the mid to late 50s. Geography used to play a huge role. They like to rotate it around the county so that everybody, every area had fair representation and everybody got a turn. But as the job has evolved, it's become far more consistent with how anybody gets a political job. You campaign for it. So I go around, I see all the county councillors, we talk about my ideas, their ideas, and at the end of the day they make their choice.
Cool. So I had the chance to hear you speak at the YMCA Leadership Day in Goderich, and you spoke a lot about youth getting involved in government. So can you just describe why you personally feel this is so important?
Sure. One of the biggest things is that generally speaking, elected officials are older, white males. We do have the good fortune to have the odd female. Unfortunately, this time only 1 out of 20. And I do believe that there's probably only 1 or 2 of us that are under the age of 50. And I think that it's unrealistic to believe that we have a clue what goes on in the hearts and minds of people under the age of 25. So the best way for us to make good decisions for them is to ask them, to engage them, and to have them help us to make the decisions that are going to affect them.
So just off of that, do you have any suggestions for kids under the age of 18, how they can get involved if they can't legally vote?
Sure. Well, one of the great things is things like the Spark Project. There's tons of volunteer work you can do. You can become involved in political parties. You get to vote on candidates when you're 14 in all the major parties. The biggest thing I think though is to be informed. You're not that far from being able to vote, so learn about your candidates, learn about your government, and offer those ideas and suggestions that inspire you once you've gotten educated to help the people that are making the decisions to make good ones for you.
All right, well, thank you for taking the time for this interview.
Anytime.